Hello, everybody. This is Tammy Moniz from Faith Surf School and the Outrigger Waikiki Beach Resorts. And today I have a super special guest. His name is Luke Shepardson. He is the 2023 champion of the Aikau Big Wave Invitational. I'm so glad that you made it. And we're so proud of you. Our family's proud of you. All the friend group. I mean, you're like the people's champ, you know? Like we all celebrate you. And we're so excited for the success that's going to come even after this, you know, because your story is so good. I have all these questions here and I don't want to miss any. So forgive me if I look at my notes. That's because fine. I usually don't. Like I usually I got it, you know, but I'm like, I have so many little questions here that I feel like will help everybody that doesn't know you, right? Yep. Be able to know you and hear your story and be so inspired by the person you are and what you've done, and you've made a mark in surfing history forever and ever. And we're so glad that we can have you here at Surfers in Residence and the Outrigger Waikiki.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So you are from Hawaii. You've lived here. You're raised here. You're my son's closest friend, and that's why it's so fun to have you on this journey and celebrate you. Tell me about yourself.
Born and raised here in Hawaii, and grew up on the North Shore surfing and being a rascal up there like everyone else, and fell in love with the ocean and surfing big waves, and now I'm a lifeguard and I get to surf on my lunch breaks and work and surf and be a family man.
That's so cool. And you have a family. Why don't you tell us about your family?
I have 2 kids, Wild and Haven. Wild's 1 and Haven is 4, and my beautiful girlfriend.
Yeah, so good. Those are a quick family, huh?
Yeah.
They're so close together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had one, and then I was like, he needs a sibling, but it's a lot. And then we just went for it, and yeah.
Wow, that's so cool.
Enjoying the ride.
As we talked the other day at Isaiah's baby shower, my son's, I asked you, like, do you have any connection to Waikiki since we're here? You know, because you're mostly in the North Shore.
North Shore, yeah.
Why don't you tell us about your connection with Waikiki?
Growing up, come down and do contests and stuff down here, and come down to surf in the summertime. And the only other contest I ever won was the first junior pro at the Duke's Ocean Fest. Pretty cool contest to win.
We have you here for one of the most prestigious big wave event in the world, and that is not just said by me, but that's said by even your peers and the people that are invited. That's their dream. But it's not just it's more of a dream, not just to win it, but it's even to be invited.
Just to be a part of it. The first year I was invited, I was just blown away. It's been my lifelong dream to be a part of it. It's, in my opinion, the biggest thing in surfing. It is what every surfer strives to get into or be a part of. And when I got invited, it was 2017 was the first year I was invited, and I was in disbelief. Like I finally, lifelong dream came true. And then being invited the year since then, I was like, I hope I get to surf in it one day. And I hope I don't get, because there's been people that have been on the list and it doesn't run it doesn't run every year so long. And some people are on the list for 4, 5, 6 years, and then they're off the list, and then the contest runs a couple years later.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's been about 7 years. Like, I hope I keep getting invited till I get to surf in it. I just really want to surf in it, and then
kind of at the prime age to surf in it too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So good. Yeah. So the Aikau contest will only run at 20 feet plus?
Yeah. It's got to be minimum 20 feet, but ideally 25 feet consistently through the day. So it's as big as Waimea gets. So all the elements that have to come together for it to be able to run is what makes it so special, because it doesn't happen all the time. In my surfing life, 2016 was the most big swells I've seen. And the few days that they called the eddy on and then canceled it because it wasn't big enough first thing in the morning. I would say there's like 8 or 10 closeout sets the whole day. And then when John won the eddy, that was the following week after that in 2016, there was probably 10 or 12 closeout sets the whole day, if that. And this one was like every other set was a closeout set, and it was a lot of fun. A lot
The
of scary.
whole day. The whole
Yeah.
day, right? There
And
wasn't.
it was getting bigger all day, and
Yeah.
it was huge in the morning. It was the forecast. They did a bad job with the forecast because everything I was looking at did not show anything that size.
Yeah. Like, what was it like to you to that whole morning coming?
Yeah, so the evening before, I bring my boards down to leave them in the room at Waimea, the lifeguard room, so that I didn't have to bring them back and forth, and because I knew I had to work the next day, so I was like, I'll just take my surfing stuff down there and have it ready, and then just go to work, and then it's there ready. And actually, when I went to drop off the boards, I seen Uncle Tony there and Micah, and I was talking to him, and I was reminiscing about, like, from when I was little, watching all the Eddie stuff, and then there's a photo of Uncle Tony on a single fin bottom, like backdooring into like a 20-foot slab, and it's like crazy. I was like just asking about it, and then he told me the story of the wave, and I was like, wow, you got like the chills just thinking about that. I was
Yeah. And then you had your chance.
like, yeah, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna try channel that, hopefully find a wave like Brock or you, and because Brock's barrel and the one Uncle Tony, the poster, those waves are crazy. That's like the dream wave, is to take off and backdoor into a huge barrel out there.
Yeah.
But that's really, really scary and really hard to do.
Yeah, it is. It takes a lot of commitment and kind of crazy.
You gotta have a few screws loose.
Still gotta tighten them. Yeah, well, I mean, like, so funny that when you're talking about, Brock and 2016, let's just back up a little, because I remember the story was, or the news was that Kelly couldn't paddle out and Luke paddled out, but he was like a bet or something. So I was like, I got to get the story straight, like it would be cool to just get it straight. So Kelly said, I'm going to read it because I don't want to forget the fun details, but it was so funny. He said in 2016, was it Mason Ho that went out with you?
No, it was Kelly and Mason were on the beach, and I guess they've been there for quite a while, like telling people, oh, you're not going to make it out, betting them, whatever, and they were trying to paddle out and getting rejected.
Yes, so he said that he got rejected to the beach, and he got caught in the shore break, right?
Yep.
And then you paddled out, and then they came back. Brock and him came back, I think, and he said that for 2 hours.
I think they're on the point watching.
Yeah, they watched you, and you caught about 2-3 bombs, and Brock was so stoked. He said Brock was so stoked to see you charge like that. I mean, how old were you?
I was 21.
Yeah, you're just a little 21.
Yeah.
That was so cute. But like, that's amazing that you had it in you, at such a young age, and to paddle out. Just the shore break alone is nuts.
Yeah, it was a really scary paddle out.
Yeah.
I just got lucky.
Yeah.
The timing all worked out because Kelly and Mason were like, oh, bet you a plate lunch, you're not going to make it out, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to try at least.
Did you get your plate lunch?
Kelly never bought me a plate lunch, but Ross gave me $20
Oh, okay.
to say, he's like, oh, I'm paying for Kelly's bet, but now Kelly owes me.
Yeah, no, we're gonna make him pay for your lunch one day, Kelly. So that's a cool story, though. The Eddie is also really different than other contests because it feels like everybody celebrates you, even the people that you are surfing against and your competitors. Like, it's such a life and death situation and such an over the edge kind of deal that it's like it generates this different kind of camaraderie or something.
Yeah, to me it doesn't really feel like a contest. It's more of a celebration of Eddie's life, and kind of everyone gathers to celebrate, and both of my heats, everyone's just super stoked and good vibes in the water, and just everyone's cheering each other on and go, 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 oh. It's like, oh, and then someone wipes out and all that, and so it's not really like I need to beat you to win the contest. It's like everyone's just out there having a good time and having fun, and there's a contest at the same time.
So you guys are like chatting, and it's like happy moment.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool. A lot of fun.
Wow. Can you explain one of your best waves? Because you had a good score on one of them, like a really high score, right?
Yeah, I had 2 10s and a 9 something.
Yeah.
And the wave that most stands out to me is the one that I claimed and fell right after. But it was like right before my second heat, Uncle Clyde's like, okay, here's the breakdown of what scores are going on. You have a 10 and a 9. You need a 9.5 or better to. If you get a 9.5 or above, you have a good shot of winning the contest. So I was like, whoa, it's kind of some pressure.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, try not to think about it. And then I went out and the heat started. Right before the heat started, the end of the heat prior was there's a huge closeout set coming in. And I was just like, I don't want to get smoked. And just paddle way outside. Paddled way outside, wave went through, and then I came back in, boom, our heat started. And within like a couple minutes of the heat starting, a wave just like stood up and there was a perfect chip right in front of me. And I was like, okay, I guess I was like, told myself, I was like, I don't want to get hurt because I was working. And I was like, okay, if a wave comes to me, I'm going, but I don't want to send it over the falls. But then the wave came right to me, and it felt like a pretty good airdrop, and then landed, and then a huge, like the explosion, and it's like torrential downpouring rain. You can't see anything, and then you come out of it and it clears, and I was just like, whoa. And then I was like, that might have been the wave. It felt like one of my best waves I've ever had at Waimea. And I threw my hands up, and there was a tiny little chop. Took me straight down.
You deserve that claim.
Yeah.
that would probably, I mean, that's like you claiming is like totally not even part of it, but that's just from the adrenaline and that
just
craziness,
like,
right?
Everything in the moment, I just
Yeah.
like my hand just went up. I was like, oh, and then it went straight down.
Yeah, I saw that. That was so insane. So how do you mentally and physically prepare, or how did you?
Physical preparation is kind of the same thing I do for lifeguarding, is just try do beach runs and good cardio, good like breath, so that you're not panicking, and if you do get pounded, you can hold your breath for a little while. But more so than that that's a big part, but the mental part is even bigger. But because you have to, when everything in your body's telling you paddle out to the horizon, you got to tell yourself to turn around and go. And then if you do fall or whatnot, you got to be relaxed and let Mother Nature do what she's going to do. Ragdoll you is very violently, and then when she lets up, you take your chance to get back to the surface.
So like, what do you do when you drop in and the wave gets you and you're getting pounded and you're like, Uncle Tony said it's like, this is what it's like. He's like, that's his expression. But it was with a leaf.
Exactly what it is. Yeah.
So like, what do you do with yourself in that moment?
You just play dead. Be as dead as you can be. And try to shut off everything, and just, because the more you fight it, the worse it's going to be. The sooner panic will set in. And when you start panicking, that's when bad things happen. So you just be as dead as possible, play dead, and just let the violent ragdolling happen.
Tell me how significant that was. I mean, were you even like there, like thinking about this whole magic of the day, or?
I was working that day, so I was not really thinking anything about the contest, but I knew that I was surfing in it, so it was like, it was a huge moment in my life. And when I grabbed the jersey for my first heat, I teared up, and as I was walking away, I was like, oh, I actually get to be a part of this. Like, it's the biggest dream of mine ever. Other than me surfing my heats, I wasn't really paying attention to the contest because it was so busy on the beach and I was at work. And had to make sure that we didn't lose anybody off the beach. And it was a constant up and down the tower, on the ATV, going back and forth, on the PA, yelling at people. And a lot of people did not want to listen. So it was over and over and over. It's every 5 to 10 minutes we were yelling at people. And it was a very busy day.
I mean, I remember, you go out, right? We see you on the waves, and then you come in and you put your other shirt on, your other jersey on, your lifeguard jersey, and then you're on the ATV running back and forth, and I'm like, what is he doing? I mean, like, it's amazing that you had the capacity and the energy to do what you were doing, but it was sheer adrenaline, 100%,
for sure.
right?
Yeah, I had a big adrenaline dump.
Do you think that was an advantage to you too, to get your mind off the contest?
For sure.
Was it?
For sure, because I'm a horrible contest surfer. I put too much pressure on myself and anxiety, and standing up on a wave is easy for me if I'm not surfing, but or if I'm not in a contest when I'm surfing. But if I'm in a contest, it's just like I overthink everything, I think, or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I always make little mistakes that I wouldn't normally make when I have a jersey on.
So what would you say to a kid like yourself, a rascal kid that has a dream of and wants to be a surfer or a professional surfer? What would you tell him?
Go for it and don't be sidetracked by all the other stuff. It's very hard, but keep pursuing your dream with all your focus and it will happen. And their life takes all its twists and turns, and just keep your dream and hoping it's going to come true, and it probably will one day.
Nice. And then you had, with your dreams and your aspirations, like you've had influences in your life. Like who would you say was one of your biggest influence?
There's a lot. Uncle Garrett McNamara for big waves, Uncle Liam for surfing pipe. All my friends influenced me a lot, and it's cool to see all my friends doing cool things. And Uncle Tony, Uncle Brock, Uncle Aaron Napoleon. One of the major things that I watched over and over and over and over when I was little about the Eddy was the Young Challengers.
Yeah.
And it was Brock Little and Aaron Napoleon, and they were, I think, 18 or 19 at the time.
Yeah, I think they were younger.
Really?
Yeah.
And they were on
younger.
like 8.0s and surfing the event, and it was like, that was a huge inspiration for me.
You know, what's more at your table for the future? Are things...
Yeah, there's been lots of cool opportunities. There's a lot of people have been telling me it's a movie and there should be a movie made, and I think there's going to be one pretty soon.
Yeah.
Or I don't know soon, but there's talks happening, so that's really cool. And yeah, just keep doing what I do, surfing and lifeguarding, and keep enjoying life.
Well, I'm so glad that you found your path off the rascal self that you were. Thank God for that.
That'll be in the movies.
Right? And the North Shore, too, like for the lifeguards. Do you have anything you want to share with us about?
It's definitely, I think, helped spotlight on ocean safety and help all the lifeguards. If any of the community sees this and they want to write their council members or anything like that to help support the lifeguards, that all the help.
Yeah.
How can we help? Helps.
How can we help?
One major thing we're trying right now is trying to get 4 10-hour day work shift. You work 4 days a week for 10-hour days. That way we'd be there from 8 in the morning to 6:30 at night. That way the beach is better protected, because when we leave at 5:30, the beach is still super crowded.
Yeah.
It's like there's a lot that can still happen. And it is moving in a good direction. But if you guys would like us to be at the beach longer, and we'd want to be there to help and write to your council people, or I don't know exactly what the term is, but that you're in support of us doing that, and that will help a lot.
Yeah. And what's so cool about it, which is amazing, is that you're asking for this not for yourselves. Like you're actually asking it because it's a need.
It's a need.
And it's an urgency,
There's the amount of after-hour rescues is a lot. And if we can be there to prevent them, it would be that much better, instead of after the fact a serious rescue has to happen. And you never know what's going to happen if it's a serious rescue.
I mean, I've seen it happen where there is a serious rescue and you're closed up already, and the guys will have to back up, or sometimes they stay because it's so dangerous that they won't go home. They'll actually stay.
Yeah. We've been doing a lot of overtime. And
Well, thank you so much, Luke, for joining me. I'm so happy that we got to do this in a timely fashion right after your win. And I got to be there, get to feel the ground and talk to you the other week. It was really nice. And so thanks for taking your time. We just celebrate you and all that you have for your future and for lifeguarding, and as well as the movie, because it's definitely going to come out. If it doesn't, I'm going to make one. So anyways,
you.
thank you so much. Yeah, all the best, and we'll see you at the next one.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So if you enjoyed this episode and you want to follow us for more of the Surfers in Residence and all the goodness that we have here, like and subscribe right here. See you next time.